What was the turning point? Did you wake up one morning and just say, that's it?
It was like a nightmare.
I barely had any friends. People I worked with in my day job, they would go out and drink and I had nothing in common with them. I was struggling to meet women.
This is a good one, and this is like a problem that people face every day. You're in the right place,
Yes.
you will meet the right people.
So I'm just here with Andoni.
Good morning.
He's a fellow sober coach. Recently has had a bit of success and a lot of people on Instagram are interested about his story. Has there been a time where you've thought to yourself, I've just got sober, I don't really have much in common with my old friends. Maybe if I drink, I'll find it easier to go out and socialise. I had this problem where, like last year, I barely had any friends. I was living in a place. All the people I worked with in my day job, they would go out and drink and I had nothing in common with them. I was struggling to meet women. Do you struggle to make new friends or do you struggle to talk to women sober? Like, how have you overcome that? Because a lot of men think they need to have alcohol to go and chat to girls and get in relationships. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a good one, and this is like a problem that people face every day, and a lot of people relapse with that. I don't have any problem with socializing because I realize that once I commit with myself to change, I realize that this is who I am, and I have work in this new identity every day. So I'm happy with who I am and who I'm becoming every day. I don't have problems because I feel good with myself now, and I'm proud of myself. So then I connect and I socialize from that feeling of well-being. And the question about women, maybe you can find that it's harder, but what I tell to myself, even with women, with new friends, and with everyone you meet is, if you are in the right place,
Yes.
you will meet the right people. Like all the people that I have attracted in this journey,
Yeah.
it has been much more aligned with myself because I was doing the things that are good for me.
Yeah.
And the things that I want to do.
And you're at the right vibration. I find
Yes,
out
yes.
because I'm in a happy vibrational state. Like, you just attract people to you. Like, I was training over there and you saw me on our friend Jack's Instagram and you came over and approached me.
So,
Like, we're just on the right frequency and the right vibration. Recently I've just started going up to talking to people. The guy who's filming now, Jay, I met him in Bali. I just stepped outside my comfort zone, took his number. Now we're friends. We've been hanging around for about 2 months. I've been on a lot of dates with women. I've just gone up and asked them and just approached them. So yeah, I just think you need to be you need to step out of your comfort zone, don't you?
well, for sure, man. We are energy. So we have to stop living from the outside to the inside and start really being aware of what's going on inside. And then if we are able to live from here outside, then we attract and we create what we really want. And we are not depending on any kind of thing, external thing. It can be alcohol, it can be women, it can be drugs. So that is a big mindset shift that everyone has to do when they want to change their identity and their life. Drinking alcohol with 14 years old, and then after that I started smoking weed, taking different drugs, mostly cocaine. So yeah, and after the years, like, bueno, in my early 20s, I was already not feeling very good because I realized that I lose control of myself like very, very young. First with alcohol, then with drugs, and yeah. And then that affects to my whole life. Like my confidence, my mindset, I was completely disconnected from my feelings, and that is how I start to feel worse and worse. Yeah, that could be like a summary of my story in the past.
When did you quit alcohol and drugs? How long has it been?
I quit 2 years and 8 months ago, July 2022.
July 2022.
Sí.
And what was the reason? What was the turning point? Did you wake up one morning and just say, that's it? Or were you out partying and something happened? What made you change your mind?
A lot of people ask me that question. I will not say that was like a certain thing. Like for me, it was all those years that I have mentioned before that I was suffering, not proud of myself, completely like in another reality. It was like a nightmare. So for me, like was the compounding on all those bad feelings that made me say like I really had enough. Because I tried for many years earlier before I completely cut.
How many attempts did it take? Like in the past, how many times did you say no more
Whoa, man.
and failed? Because the
Like,
people keep trying and they keep failing, like I did and you did, and they think that they can't stop, but that's not true.
I was years trying. Like, I think my first real try was with 23, and I
Okay.
quit with 29.
How old do you know?
I'm 31 now.
And you quit when you were 29.
Eso es,
Okay.
like almost 3 years. So it was like 5-6 years when I decided to start trying.
Okay.
Like was very early, but before I already was in a bad headspace, in a bad lifestyle. So it was like many years and many attempts.
How long was your longest attempt? Like how many weeks or months did you go?
Okay, good one. Like I could easily do like 1 month, 2 months. Once with 24, 25, I did 6 months,
6 months.
and then
Wow. it's a
and
long
then I
time.
failed. See, 6 months. Things were going easier, but now with time and perspective, I realized that I was not really changing. I make a big difference between not taking alcohol and drugs and changing. For me, are like two different things, because you can be like not taking anything, but maybe you are not changing, and that means that in time you are gonna relapse.
What changes do you need to make to be able to maintain?
You need to change your identity. Identity means like your beliefs, your belief system, your mindset, how you think, your emotional state, how you feel, and everything is connected. So you have to do like a real work on letting go the past, because many times addiction always is related with the past, with those feelings that are storage in yourself and that are like defining who you are. So it's like a real work between letting go and build something new, because it's not enough with letting go and understanding your problem, not the addiction and everything. It's not enough. I was there before. Problem that I had was that I was not building the life I want, that I'm doing now.
I
Same.
know the same because I quit for 10 weeks and I was living in Sydney and I went out with the same people I would usually go out with, and then I ended up with a beer in my hand, and then I was up till 6 a.m. doing cocaine, and I thought, how did this happen? These 10 weeks were so good, but I didn't have a new identity, I didn't have the structure. How would you, with your clients, what is the first step to changing someone's identity? What would the first thing be you would say to them?
Okay, as I said, the first thing is to quit, because if you don't quit, you are still trapped in the same cycle. So it's impossible to change your identity if you are trapped there. First you have to quit, and quitting is like, we know, the easiest part.
Easiest bet.
The easiest part. Then when you quit and you are able to stay 3-6 months, the first ones, you realize that the real work starts there.
Yeah.
When you are aware of what brings you there. Your mindset, your feelings, how you haven't been able to manage them in the past, and you get to that point. So the identity shift is a long journey and it's a difficult one, but start with quitting and also being aware of a lot of things. That's why you need guidance. You need someone that is going to help you see what you haven't been able to see in the past.
Yeah, you need someone to have an overview, look at your life,
Eso es.
see what your habits are, your routines, and be able to help you with issues that you've got going through.
Eso es.
One of the things I struggled with was a little bit of loneliness, because all my friends that I used to hang around with, I didn't have anything in common with them anymore because I was going out drinking and taking drugs. Did you experience any loneliness?
The thing is, in my case,
And what do you think about loneliness now? Because I don't believe it's a thing. I like spending time by myself.
claro, definitely. And someone that helps to become addicted to substances is don't be able to be alone. When you are not able to be alone, you need people. You need to be in certain environments. You need to do certain things, and that is what it changes you. When you are able to feel what you feel, to stay with yourself, then you choose much more better what you want and what you don't want. I think that is the big difference. And for me, like, by the time I get to the point to quit, I move from my town. So I did a big change.
Where are you from?
I'm from Basque Country, north of Spain.
Okay.
So I moved to Malaga. I did my rehab process there. So I already find new friends, healthy friends. I'm doing calisthenics. Is what I do now. Like almost 3 years ago, I started. So then it was not that hard because I already changed my environment and then helped a lot. And also I was so committed in my process of change.
You still have the old friends that you have from the past?
See, I haven't said to anyone, I'm not your friend, I'm not gonna talk to you. But the more you make decisions aligned with your values, with the life you want, with your path, you attract new people, like us, for example, here, and then naturally you don't spend that much time, or even you don't spend time with the people you know because they are choosing something different that you already accept and realize that you don't want.
Yeah. What's the biggest thing you've noticed since quitting alcohol and drugs? What's the biggest improvement in your life that you thought, wow?
For me, it's like to feel alive, man. I realized, like, I think I was yesterday talking with my clients, with my community, and it's like that. Like, I didn't knew what was to be alive because I was trapped in my own thoughts, in my own nightmare, as I said before. So for me to be connected with my feelings, to be able to really be present and feel what's going on, that is the biggest gift in life. Then people think that when you quit, everything is easy. No, life is life. You have problems, you have difficulties, you have challenges, but the difference is who you are to face all that things. And that is what makes me feel good and proud.
I always say that alcohol doesn't give you the life that you want, but it gives you the tools to be able to go out and get the life that you want. Like, people think they're going to quit alcohol and their life will be amazing, but I would say sometimes it gets even harder because you're just fully aware of all your thoughts, all your problems.
Definitely.
You have nowhere to run. Have you ever got arrested drinking and taking drugs? I went to prison twice for fighting when I was like 20 and 19, I think it was.
See, I have been, but I have been lucky because I was a guy, I lose control.
Yeah.
Like, I changed completely who I was when I was sober and who I was when I drank and I take drugs. So I was lucky because I get like sometimes aggressive, sometimes like very, very like out of control. So I'm grateful that I didn't have any big issue during all those years.
What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done?
Oh man, I can't say one. Like, for me, the most embarrassing thing was the feeling of who I become every time I do those things. Like, I was not me. It was a part of me that I already let go, but a part of me that makes me feel like the worst feeling that I ever felt.
Because sometimes we make content. Well, we make content a lot, not sometimes, but we have to scroll through our phones and find pictures of us when we were taking drugs and drinking. Yeah. And for me, I did one the other day on my story, and it just made me have all these feelings. I was like, man. Do you feel the same way when you look back? See,
I try to show my past, but I don't have too much because I used to delete everything. And that is like, I was feeling so ashamed, so embarrassed with myself that I used to delete. But it's important for people to see that we were there. It's true, all we have experienced, and that we help from that, no? From experience and from knowledge, from wisdom that we get from all those years of being there.
What would be your one piece of advice if someone was on the fence about quitting alcohol and drugs and they said, I don't wake up every morning drinking alcohol or sniffing cocaine, but when I go out on the weekends I destroy my life and I know it's not letting me progress in the way I want to go forward, what would you say to that person to get them off the fence?
Okay, my question is, what is missing in your life? Have you asked that question to yourself? Like, what is missing? Why or for what are you doing those things? And then when you ask the right questions, you start to get the right answers. That is one. Like, start to question what's going on. Like, life is not that. You are choosing to live that life, but life is not that. And the second one, don't continue trying alone. Like,
Yes.
if you are in that point, it's because you need help. If not, you will quit time ago, and your life already will be different. So, yeah, ask for help. Like, reach to someone that is in the point that you want to be, and yeah,
Make a
and then
change
change your
there.
life. Eso es.
People will probably disagree with me, but I think like the word alcoholic and drug addict is just like a societal label, which basically just keeps you pinned and gives you an excuse to fall back. Like, you can't ever get cured for being an alcoholic, which is an imaginary disease. What do you think about it? I think I just turned off one day. What do you think?
I think that obviously we have had a problem, but a problem is a problem because we can solve it. So, yeah, the labels, we can use words. I sometimes use those words, but I know that change is possible because I changed. And that's why I help and you changed.
Yeah.
So that's why we can help people, because we have experience that we know that it's possible.
Yes.
So then, I used to think like that many years. Oh, I'm addicted. I will not change. It's not true. Everything that you believe becomes true. So we
Yes.
can believe that we want to change, and we will change.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
You're
you,
a good man.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Listo.
bro. That was so good.